What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from Pink Tourmaline. And this video in particular is going to be about my take on why I think we're going through, I think globally, some sort of a spiritual awakening, and people want to hear messages of positivity and are feeling, I think, somewhere deep down on a subconscious level, the connection that we all have to each other, and the fact that at the core of our nature, I think we want to help each other. We want to be kind to each other. And I think that deep, whether it's a human nature, a spiritual nature, whatever it is that's in our core, that's deeply connected to us, I think we've forgotten about it, or we've been misled to believe that human nature actually drives us to want to harm each other, to want to get the better of each other, to just want to compete at any cost. And I just don't believe that's true. I think we've just lost touch with the true reality of who we are, because we're so accustomed to this world. Obviously, in this lifetime, we're born in this world, in this timeline, and we're just so accustomed to the way things operate that we think this is intrinsic and inherent in human nature and how we're supposed to be. And I think that's completely false. And I wanted to share an example in particular to highlight this idea that the world is completely upside down. And I think many of us are upside down along with it, because how could we not be? The world that we have grown up in, the systems that we are a part of, show us, whether it's explicitly or implicitly, how the world operates. And we are living in an exploitative world where lying, where deception, where just crazy things are allowed to go on a regular basis without anybody calling them out, or things stopping on a dime. And I think this is showcasing exactly where we are as a global society. I think people in general, overall on the planet, are really good. The vast majority of people are good and want to do good. They don't want to keep on going down these dark paths of negativity and harming each other for what? For a little extra money, and for, okay, fine. I mean, what's the big deal about being so filthy rich that you want to buy a yacht or do these other things at the expense of all these people that you're harming? I don't understand this type of mentality. Anyways, so I wanted to give an example. What I did was I actually just into Google Gemini, I typed in, I said, hey, can you give me a list of the 5 companies, just 5 companies that you can come up with that are particularly doing a lot of damage on this planet? And these are massive companies. Obviously, you guys have heard of Purdue Pharma. I'm not even going to focus on them. ExxonMobil, I'm not even going to focus on them, because at least at a minimum, okay, the gas that ExxonMobil harvests is being used to heat our society, to fuel our society, to do things that are technically, I mean, it's causing a lot of damage, but at least there's some implicit inherent value that we're deriving that's doing some good. But this is a company I wanted to focus on. And it really blows my mind that, and I think it should blow everybody else's mind as well, how this is one of the largest companies today, arguably the most recognizable trademark on the planet. People drink this across the globe. And compared to at least the other companies that were listed, I don't understand anything that Coca-Cola provides. I don't understand one positive element of their products that they provide that's actually doing any good on this planet. And on top of that, forget about the lack of doing good. The prevalence of the damage that they are causing is absolutely insane. So we're going to read through what Gemini wrote up for us in terms of the damage that Coca-Cola is just spewing all across the planet. And it's like one of the most valuable companies, and people there, I'm sure, are doing amazingly well. And again, it's bizarro world. It's clown world. It makes no sense that they operate with impunity out in the public, doing this on a continual basis, growing larger and larger, and just completely poisoning the planet. It's wild. So again, their product is sugar sweetened beverages, obviously Coca-Cola, plus these other derivative drinks as well. And what their negative impacts is: the major contributor to global health crises, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. And they hold nearly 20% of the U.S. market. The company's products are central to health discussions. I'm actually shocked it's only 20%. I wonder what the percentage is that Pepsi holds, and then these other companies that produce SSBs. I wasn't even familiar with that acronym until today. So it says diabetes risk studies. Studies such as one from Harvard School of Public Health indicate that consuming just 1 to 2 cans of sugary drinks per day is associated with a 26% greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes. That's a massive amount. And I'm sure some people drink 3 drinks, 4 drinks. I'm sure, yeah, I mean, there's no regulation So who knows? I mean, that's insane. And again, there's no positive argument to go the other way, being like, yeah, it increases diabetes, but it's good for circulation. It's good for helping you sleep better at night. Like, there's no trade-off. It's just a can of garbage, and it's being circulated throughout the planet at such a high rate. It's absolutely insane. Okay, the global burden, a 2024 study published in Nature Medicine estimated that in 2020, it's responsible for 2.2 million cases of type 2 diabetes and 1.2 million cases of cardiovascular disease globally. The same study attributed an estimated 340,000 deaths per year. Deaths, that's insane. And again, that's 20% of the US market. Assuming it's the same globally, we can take 20% of these cases of diabetes and deaths, maybe, arguably, maybe it's a higher globally than 20%. I don't know. But you could probably attribute 20% plus or minus within a margin of error, all these horrible atrocities to Coca-Cola, and yet it operates out in the open. There's, like, no FBI agents coming to storm the facilities and do an investigation and get them out of business. Again, in fact, it's actually, we see them in Super Bowl commercials. It's out in the open. It's a celebrated company. Wow, what a success story. It's absolutely insane, but we're under this spell of like, well, if you can build a business and you can sell a product, you can market it well, congratulations. It's like, people just try and see if they can without ever thinking if they should. And we think, no, but like, you have to make money in this world. That's how business works. Why? Who says? Again, I think it's this conditioning that I'm starting to break away from and break free from this mentality of like, yeah, you just got to start a business. Sometimes you're going to have we market things and we're going to puff things up. It's like, you don't have to operate that way. We don't have to operate that way. It's not yes, this is just human nature and it's inevitable and inescapable. This is just how it's going to be. Why? This is what we've been told for whatever reason. This is what we've been led to believe. But it's completely backwards. And I think we know in our hearts that things are really backwards right now. And this is why we're starting to experience, I believe, this global awakening. I think it's why I all of a sudden have woken up, I think, in the last year and a half, also due to some traumatic things that happened in my life that led me down this path to discover this type of content and information. So that definitely was there for me. But I think globally, people are gravitating towards some type of higher spiritual understanding to get back in touch with what's really going on in the ethereal with us, within us, to get our society and civilization back on track. Because that's just a little small example, but a great example as an analogy to just showcase what's happening on this planet and what we are kind of signing off on implicitly and what we're becoming okay with, which is it's not just human nature. It's not. I think the nature of some particular specific people is being pushed upon us as if it's human nature, as if it's natural, as if it's the way that we all want to carry ourselves in this society, but it's not. And I think most of us, the vast majority of us, do have a reasonable degree of empathy. We do understand that these types of things shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't just be allowing companies to make money at the detriment to so many people like this. It's obvious. So anyways, the positive ending of this video is that with all the craziness that's going on in the world, all the negativity that is happening around us, I think people are waking up and finally starting to realize that this is not who we're supposed to be. This is not just who we are. It's not. And we're going to break away from that altogether, I believe. And that's part of what this channel is about. Not only talking about where we go after and what the point of everything is, but how do we do the best we can do while we're here, and understanding what this whole thing is about, this incarnation, our lives, the challenges, whatnot, is going to help everybody realize better what they need to be doing and what we should all be doing while we're here and while we're alive. And I'm still figuring that out, by the way. I'm no means an expert by any means. I'm on a journey just like everybody else, and I'm just trying to learn and share as I go along. I'm going to read more from Memories from the Afterlife as well tomorrow. We'll see if I find some new tidbits of nuggets of information. Then I'm going to move on to my next book, and we're just going to keep researching and learning and growing in a positive way together. That's all I got for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.